I got a splitting headache. Thank you. Yeah, all right. Are we there? Oh, yeah, we're there. Okay. Well, welcome, everyone, to Sunday Assembly. Here's that everybody included question. If you've never been here before, or you have, raise your hand. Good. Seems like that's unanimous then.
So we're all inclusive here.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, we're going to celebrate in a ghoulish fashion today. The band is scary good, and we're just pumped up and ready to go. So, singing along helps us sound a lot better. Dancing also makes us sound a lot better. Listening makes us sound just about as good, actually. But so help yourselves. Have some fun here tonight.
Well, Stephen, I'd say that October we had a little bit of a trick played on us.
We sure did.
Say? But you get the treat tonight.
Oh! All right, Ray, we need some of that long hair type music, if you don't mind. Something that you can only go and see when you're like at the opera house or the higher institutions around town. So if you'll start us off. Thank you. That was scary good, wasn't it? What do you think might be the most famous ghoulish song ever on Halloween? Monster Mash is right. Does anybody know how to do that? The actual Monster Mash? We have an actual Monster Masher back there? She's saying no. Well, I don't know. Well, we would be quite happy. That's a good look for you. We'd be quite happy if somebody could actually get out here and do. I think it's something like this. But
I could
make
mash
yourself at home.
potatoes, but not that well.
Do it. Okay.
Pepto-Bismol.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. From a monster from the slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
Did the mash,
he did the monster mash.
the Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash,
Caught on in a flash.
he did the mash.
He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes.
They did the mash,
They did the monster
the
mash.
Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard
They did
smash.
the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
they did the mash.
They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun.
Tennis shoot,
The party had just begun.
tennis shoot,
The guests included Wolf,
tennis shoot,
Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, all were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, battened by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five.
Play the mash,
They played the monster mash.
Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard
Play
smash.
the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
play the mash.
They play the monster mash. Out from his coffin, Drax voiced a dream. Seemed he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania fist?"
It's now the mash,
It's now the monster mash.
Monster Mash.
And it's a graveyard smash.
Now the mash,
It's caught on in a flash.
now the mash.
It's now the monster mash. Now everything's cool, Drax part of the band, and my monster mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Josh sent you.
Then you can mash,
Then you can monster mash
Monster Mash.
and do my graveyard smash.
You can mash,
You'll catch on in a flash.
you can mash.
Then you can monster mash.
Monster Mash, Monster Mash, Monster Mash, Monster Mash, All right, I did see some sing-alongers on that one. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to turn it over to our hostess, however you want to go about that today. Gwen Brown is going to lead us through the day today. She'll keep the party starting and going all day long.
Good evening, and welcome to the spooky night. I'm sorry. I guess it's Nightmare Before Festivus, y'all. So, we do have a Festivus poll over here. If you're feeling like you need some feats of strength to get yourself going, I think that Josh might be willing to wrestle outside. I mean, it's entirely his call. But anyway, I just wanted to welcome everyone to our evening today. First of all, I just want to remind you, who is Sunday Assembly? And Sunday Assembly is a secular group of folks who gather together to celebrate the one life we know we have. We don't do deity, we don't do doctrine, but we're not going to tell you you're wrong if you do. We welcome everyone, and we want everyone to feel like they're welcome to participate in this. If you want to come up here sometime and do what I'm doing, guess what? There's a person you can see for that. And we actually encourage people to join us because this is about building a community outside of any kind of religious thing. So there's a couple of things on the back I would like you to kind of see. First of all is our motto for Sunday Assembly. And yes, I know the whole joke. What's a motto? I don't know, but apparently it's not this. You know, nothing's the matter with me, but we're going to go through our motto. Our motto is live better, help often, wonder more. So basically that encapsulates our philosophy because we just want to encourage you to live your life as fully as possible, to become the best version of yourself that you decide you want to be. So anyway, that's the big introduction. The thing that I am going to do now is I'm going to ask Chris McKee to come up and read our poem, Haunted Houses by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
All houses wherein men have lived and died are haunted houses. Through the open doors, the harmless phantoms on their errands glide, with feet that make no sound upon the floors. We meet them at the doorway, on the stair, along the passages they come and go, impalpable impressions on the air, a sense of something moving to and fro. There are more guests at table than the host invited. The illuminated hall is thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts, as silent as the pictures on the wall. The stranger at my fireside cannot see the forms that I see, nor hear the sounds I hear. He perceives what is, while unto me all that has been is visible and clear. We have no title deeds to house or lands. Owners and occupants of earlier dates, from graves forgotten, stretch their dusty hands, and hold and mortmain still their old estates. The spirit rolled around this world of sense, floats like an atmosphere, and everywhere wafts through these earthly mists and vapors dense, a vital breath of more ethereal air. Our little lives are kept in equipoise by opposite attractions and desires, the struggle of the instinct that enjoys and the more noble instinct that aspires. These perturbations, this perpetual jar of earthly wants and aspirations high, come from the influence of an unseen star and undiscovered planet in our sky. And as the moon from some dark gate of cloud throws o'er the sea a floating bridge of light, across those trembling planks our fancies crowd into the realm of mystery and night. So from the world of spirits there descends a bridge of light, connecting it with this, o'er whose unsteady floor that sways and bends, wander our thoughts above the dark abyss.
Thank you so much, Chris. So the thing about tonight, it's unusual because we don't exactly have your normal thing where we're going to have a speaker come up and talk to us. So I want to tell you kind of the inspiration behind this, and that is, if you've ever sung the song, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, there's this little section. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. So we're like, you know what we haven't done yet? We haven't done scary ghost stories for Christmas. So I'm going to have our readers who's going to come up and read us some scary ghost stories, but I want to talk a little bit about why they did that. Because you have to think, I want you to picture in your mind, think back 100 years, 200 years, and think about the fact that we would have had no electricity, no lights, no running water, and you had this keep where everyone would gather in the evening, and the only thing that you could do is huddle together around that fire that's keeping you warm and throwing off the only light in the room. And there's that natural, what's out there? Even though in the daylight, you know what exists outside those walls, there's something about the dark that makes it that much more scary, that much more uncertain. And so part of you wants to acknowledge that scariness and talk about it and just get a little thrill out of it. And there's that sense of community that can come together when you're all scared together. You're like, hold me, I need help. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sure, especially for my femme presenting people, there's something about holding on to your significant other when you're watching a scary movie. Am I right? There's like, oh yes, okay, I'm not alone. So I'm gonna have Don Hawk come up, and he's gonna read a scary story, and then I'm gonna tell you about some scary Christmas characters. Don Bunny.
I'd like to think I'm a better shot than that, but all right. The story is called The Gryther. It was Christmas Eve, and the family were gathered in the living room. The father was reading the newspaper, and the mother was knitting a sweater. The children, Jimbo and Steffa, were stretched out on the floor with their crayons and their coloring books. "Tell us a story," Steffa demanded. "Yes, a scary one," Jimbo insisted. "All right," said their father. "I'm going to tell you about the most fearsome, dangerous, and appalling creature in the world, and it's called the Gryther." "Oh, now you've done it," said their mother. "You said his name out loud." "Who is he?" said Jimbo. "He's the most awful thing in the world," their father said. "He lives in a cave at the North Pole. The coldest, wettest place on earth is where the Gryther makes his home. He sleeps in the wreck of a ship that somehow got squeezed into the mouth of a cave. He doesn't mind the cold and he doesn't mind the wet, but the thing he hates most of all is to hear someone say his name. He has very good ears, and they get bigger every time his name is spoken anywhere on earth. Sometimes his ears get so big, he can use them to fly." "I don't like the story," Steffa whined. "It's too late now," her mother said. "We've already mentioned his name. The Gryther is probably on his way to our house this very minute." "It'll probably take him a while to get here," said their father. "If we finish the story before he gets here, everything will be fine. Do you know why the Gryther is called the Gryther?" "Why?" the children asked. "Because he has fists as big as basketballs and arms as long as boa constrictors," said their father with a grin. "Whenever he finds the people who have been speaking his name, he opens up his fist and reaches out his arms, and he Grythers them in. He grabs them by the head and squeezes them until they pop, just like a balloon." "Does he look like Bigfoot?" Jimbo asked. "No," said his father. "He's not like Bigfoot, and he's not like the abominable snowman either. Nobody knows what he looks like for sure. The only people who have ever seen the Gryther are the people the Gryther has eaten. He's as tall as a tree, but he can bend all the way over and touch the ground. His skin looks like a road map because it's transparent, and all his blue and red veins show through. The blue is for fear, and the red is for rage." "Hurry up and finish the story before he gets here," Stella cried. The Gryther was born on a sailing ship, said her father. It was blown off course by a storm and got lost in the Arctic Sea. They drifted around for weeks and never saw anything but glaciers and icebergs. Some of the passengers drowned, some froze to death, some starved, and the rest committed suicide. The Gryther was born out of the fear and rage of all those people. But why does he kill people? Jimbo asked. Nobody knows, said his father. He just doesn't like anyone telling his story. Is that all? Steffa asked. Is that the end of the story? Not quite, said her father. There's only one way to protect yourself from the Gryther. Maybe you should stop, their mother interrupted. I think you've scared them enough. Their father chuckled. You don't believe in the Gryther, do you? He asked. No, the children lied. Well, you shouldn't, their father said, because I made it all up. There's no such thing as the Gryther. But you didn't finish the story, Steffa whined. All of a sudden, the door blew open, and the room was enveloped in an icy blast of wind. There was a crash and the sound of breaking glass. Then two huge, gnarled arms reached in through the windows and grasped their parents by their heads. As the children watched in horror, the hands squeezed and squeezed, and their parents' heads popped, just like two balloons.
I don't know about you, but I'm glad that I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to tell you some stories about some scary Christmas characters. And you find that a lot of the time in different areas of the world, there are these different characters. Now, of course, most people have heard about Krampus. So think about what this guy, it basically is your typical kind of like description of the devil, where he's got this goat-like face and big horns and scary hooves, and he comes at you with these big scary nails, and he's going to take all of the evil children home to punish them. Apparently, the word Krampus comes from the German word Krampen, which translates to claw, so I think that's appropriate. And there's these huge celebrations all throughout Germany, especially, which is where this legend originates, where they have these parades of people dressed up like Krampus, and the scariest Krampus is the one who gets to go home with all of the prize money, and all of the ones that think that they're scary, they're like, I wish I would have thought to put fake blood in my beard. Dang it, maybe next year. All right, the next one is a character called Belsnickel. And for those of you who watch The Office, you might have heard about this. This is a kind of a mischievous little elf. Supposed to be a helper of St. Nicholas, although instead he's supposed to come before Christmas to whip children into shape, literally. So it comes with this big, long whip, and it's like, you've been a naughty person. And instead of coal, it's just the idea of being punished, the idea of having to make up for it. And he would ask these children to prove that they were good by reciting a poem or a Bible verse as some sort of penance. Ooh, it's kind of weird. This legend originated in the Dutch communities in Pennsylvania, and they still do celebrate it, but there's always just these stories. It's never with the pomp and circumstance. Now, my favorite one is this one that you see up here on the screen. It's pronounced Marie Lloyd, and it's this hobby horse, like a stick with a head on it, except it's actually a horse skull. And they go from, there's these people who go around from house to house, knocking on the door, saying, "Who will let Mary Lloyd in?" And it's like, "No, we don't want you. We don't have anything for you, because if you let Mary Lloyd into your house, she will devour all of the souls within so that she can become enfleshed once again and ride off as a true horse should." Again, very, 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 very scary. There's this whole thing where instead of it being a negative thing, they actually tease and they, exchange, how when you have a roast and there you make these weird little jokes about the person who's being roasted, they roast Mary Lloyd, "You need to put some meat on those bones or else we're gonna have to go away," that kind of a thing. So it's an interesting idea, and there's a whole host of others, but I don't want us to stray because we have at least one more scary ghost story. I'd like Don Thomason to come up and tell us about the carol singers.
Okay. Okay. All right. My grandfather was a drunk, and my father was a drunk, but I never touched a drop. There's a reason for that. When I was young, times were hard, and I grew up poor. My grandfather and my father never did an honest day's work in their lives. Granddad wasn't good for much, but he played the clarinet like an artist. He taught my father how to play the accordion. Every Christmas, they would gather a group of their friends and go from door to door, playing Christmas music, singing Christmas carols, and begging for money. Afterward, they would all go down to the pub and spend it on alcohol. One Christmas Eve, they brought me with them. I was too young to play an instrument, so they handed me a triangle and told me to strike it every now and then. The night was dark. The snow was falling, and a cold December wind cut through like a knife. We kept our heads down and trudged through the snow and the sleet. Eventually, my grandfather stopped and said, "This looks like as good a place as any." We were outside a big mansion, decorated with Christmas lights. My grandfather knocked on the front door, and we began to play some old Christmas carols. The door on the house swung open, and in the dim light, I saw a young woman standing there. She was holding a tray of glasses in her hand. With a smile, she picked up a glass and held it out, inviting one of the men to drink. My grandfather rubbed his hands together with glee and took the glass. Just then, I looked up, and in the window above, I saw a face peering out of the shadows, a face that was hideous beyond words. I looked back at the woman in the doorway, and her face was hideous too. Before I could stop him, my grandfather put the glass to his lips and knocked it back with one big gulp. "Oh dear," said the woman in an eerie, childish voice. "You've drunk blood, sir." With that, the door slammed shut. My grandfather stumbled backwards, and the glass fell from his hands. It shattered with a deafening crash, and he collapsed in the snow. I don't remember much after that. All I recall is waking up in the light of dawn and finding myself lying in the snow. The other men were lying all around me, just waking up themselves. My father got to his feet and rubbed his head. The woman had disappeared, and the house was boarded up and abandoned. All that was left was a dark red stain in the snow where the glass had broken. My grandfather lay there in the snow beside it, his face all purple and swollen. He was as dead as a doornail. We hurried home that morning and called the police.
They picked up my grandfather's body and brought it to the mortuary. My father told them what had happened, but they didn't believe a word of his tale. They said the house had been vacant for over 100 years. After that night, my father was never the same man again. He never let another drop of alcohol touch his lips and made sure I did the same.
I'm a short person, I'm sorry. So that leads us to our minute of mindfulness. And I just like to encourage you to think for a minute about these stories that we tell ourselves, to think about why we might scare each other. Because it's not about the fear so much, I think, as it is about feeling like you're together with someone in that feeling. And I'd just like to take a minute to think about that.
The jury says she's charming, but her exes say she's wicked. I swear to God, I saw her howling at the sky. She ain't out to get you, but she's better on your side. She don't wanna be anybody else. She's a woman in total control of herself. It's such a wonder to be under a spell. What a woman in total control of herself. She's got tricks up her sleeve, and I got a few of mine. She said, am I bad to the bone, 'cause I get what I want. Mama said it ain't no crime. She don't wanna be anybody else. She's a woman in total control of herself. It's such a wonder to be under a spell. What a woman in total control of herself. It's such a wonder to be under a spell. What a woman.
As you noticed in your bulletin today, that's WITCH. Of course, that's what that stands for, woman in total control of herself. You know, I'm glad it wasn't babe in total control of herself. Oh!
Boo. So, yeah, you'll just stay here. Yeah, it won't take long. We're going to talk about our announcements, our acknowledgments, and closing thoughts. You get to hear more of my voice. I'm sorry. So for announcements, please look at the insert in the bulletin. There's a couple of things that are coming up. The Saturday morning walks every Saturday from 8 to 10. That's your... To 9, I'm sorry. Okay, 9 to 11. I was just going by what was printed. Okay, Middle Ground Potluck next Sunday at Georgia and Stephen's house. Now, Stephen Cook told me that game night is not officially happening. He says that the doors to his house are open on Christmas Eve if anybody wants to come over, but it's not like they're expecting anybody to be there on the 24th. So information is in there for where it is, but please, if you're planning on going, can you please communicate with Stephen either through Meetup or through Facebook? Let them know somehow that you're going to be showing up, okay? And then as far as acknowledgments are concerned, just want to take a minute. There's a lot of people who work really hard to make this kind of thing happen. It takes a lot of time and effort and organization to put this together, and none of us are getting paid, and we have to pay for this place. So I think we have a way for you to donate. You can either go online, or we have some hats that we may pass here in just a second, because apparently somebody forgot about that part. But we have the opportunity for you to, like I said, to be part of this. There's a lot of different areas that you can volunteer with. You can be part of the band. You can be part of the presentation, whether you want to be the host, or maybe you have an entertaining topic that you'd like to speak on. Maybe you're interested in reading, or maybe you just want to be helpful as far as planning our next outing for Help Often or Wonder More, because we do want to be not just a place to come to, but a community of people who come together to do things to help the larger community of Nashville. Okay, so that's did I miss anything as far as announcements and acknowledgments are concerned? Going once, going twice, I'm sorry? Social media. Yes, please follow us on social media. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, well, what used to be Twitter, X. It's still Twitter. And we have Instagram. If you're interested, there's a secret Sunday Assembly group on Facebook, so that if you're not openly non-religious, that's a good way to phrase it. If you're not openly non-religious, the Secret Sunday group won't show up on your Facebook feed as something that you have to worry about friends or family interacting with. So, all right. So, closing thoughts. Let's think about spooky stories just for a minute. And let's think, okay, hey, Christmas seems like a weird time for there to be spooky stories. But is it really? Because think about the most famous Christmas story other than the JC one, and it's probably A Christmas Carol. And it's all about ghosts. It's all about scaring Ebenezer Scrooge straight and making him realize that the foundation of his life, his scrimping and saving and having to be prepared for the future monetarily, has left him alone and abandoned and without community. And to me, that is the scariest thing that can happen to a person. So if you see someone who may be lost, who might be alone, who might need a little community around them at Christmas, don't be a Scrooge. Reach out and help them. Yeah. Last but not least, there's a little video that I'd like to show you.
So now that spooky season has officially come to an end and we've entered into Christmas song season, I think it's a safe time for me to bring this up. Because while all the holiday lovers out there are rejoicing that they can finally blast their Mariah Carey or Kelly Clarkson or Michael Bublé Christmas tracks as loud as they want, I'm personally more of a classic Christmas music person, but there's one song in particular that I'm talking about, which is a song that I actually used to hate until about 5 years ago when I read this theory online about the song and it completely changed my perspective on it, and now I absolutely love this song. The song is by Paul McCartney and the name of it is Wonderful Christmas Time. And the theory I'm talking about is the one by Ryan George that says Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time is about friends practicing witchcraft, but then someone walks in and they have to suddenly play it cool. And I remember after reading that the first time, I immediately went and had to listen to the song. And I was dying laughing because hearing it in this new light was so funny to me. But the thing is, I'm a visual person, so...
The mood is right, the spirit's up. We're here tonight, and that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Maybe spooky season isn't over, just cosplaying is Christmas.
All right, a couple more tunes to take us out. Actually, three. A couple more in theme, and then one that we use for our general closer. So I guess Don's going to kick this one off. And name that tune in 4 bass notes. On fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Oh, psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better. Run, 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 run away. Oh, 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 oh. Ay, 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 ay. You start a conversation, you can't even finish it. You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything. When I have nothing to say, my lips are sealed. Say something once, why say it again? Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Oh, psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Mon espoir, j'ai ma lance, la gloria, ok. Yeah, 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 yeah. We are vain and we are blind. I hate people when they're not polite. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Run, 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 run. psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. That one was by special request, and wouldn't you know it, she's a psychologist. What do you know about that?
She knows people.
It's come that time for the last rockin' out song. Be your last chance to really let yourself hang out and get loose. After that, we're going to kind of cozy it back up a little bit. But this is a good one.
Nature is showing.
Living easy, loving free, season ticket on a one-way ride, asking nothing, leave me be, taking everything in my stride. Don't need reason, don't need right, ain't nothing that I'd rather do. Going down, party time. My friends are gonna be there too. Get out those seats, everybody. I'm on the highway to hell. Highway to hell. Highway to hell. I'm on the highway to hell. No stop signs, speed limit. Nobody's gonna slow me down. Like a wheel, gonna spin it. Nobody's gonna mess me around. Hey Satan, pay my dues. Playing in a rockin' band. Hey mama, look at me. I'm on the way to the promised land. Highway to hell. I'm on the highway to hell. Don't stop me.
That one gets me right here. All right, so here's one. If you're new today, you won't know this one because it's kind of become our signature closer, and it's an original tune. Yeah, proprietary thing. So it's one we don't even rehearse. We just want everybody to feel comfortable singing whatever they want to sing. So help yourselves. You'll pick it up by the second time around. I wrote this song to be the equivalent of a church chorus, so it's that easy. We used to call our church choruses, we call them the 7-11. You know, 7 words, 11 times through. And here we go. 2, 3, 4. I also believe in potluck, so I'll see you there.